Hey, devoted dog dads and marvelous mutt moms. I'm Dr. Heather, and we're going to be talking about autumn care for pets. Now, autumn starts a lot earlier than I think most people realize or think about. It's not on the autumnal equinox. That's just the day when the day length and night length are exactly the same length of time. August. Have you ever noticed that shift of energy that happens starting in early August? Like, it's still definitely summer, but the days are noticeably a bit shorter and the nights are getting a little cooler, and you might even start to notice some of the leaves start to change. This is energy sort of starting to turn inward in preparation for winter. In Chinese medicine, autumn is ruled by the metal element, which governs the organ systems of the lungs and the large intestine. These are both organs of assimilation and elimination. One is air and the other is nutrients and metabolic waste. Interesting thing is that the lungs also govern the skin, which you don't often think about as an organ of assimilation and elimination, but it is, and you'll really notice that on a hot, sweaty day, won't you? So what are some practical tips to nourish our metal element now that you are getting into the autumn season? One thing that you can do is nourish the lungs. And the lungs, this is kind of dry in most, at least in the Northeast and in much of the Northern Hemisphere. It's dry, and lungs really need some moisture. So you can add moistening foods like salmon. Sweet foods are moistening. Salmon, I think, is a little bit sweet as a fish. A little drizzle of honey or flaxseed oil. For horses or dogs and cats, well, cats, I don't know if the cat would eat a banana, but horses also benefit from seasonal attention to balance. So bananas, alfalfa for horses or for pets. If we add little bits of this to their regular food, we're going to be nourishing the lungs. And another thing that we can do is regular grooming, right? Because the skin needs to breathe. And if we've got lots of dead fur and hair close to the skin, it can't do that. So regular grooming, weirdly, nourishes the lung element. We can support the large intestine, and we'll do that by feeding fibrous foods. Pets would eat cooked. Horses can eat raw. We're looking at pumpkin and other fibrous vegetables. Carrots, cooked carrots for pets. We know horses love carrots and apples. All of these fibers will help to regulate digestion and elimination. We need to hydrate. For pets, this often means bone broth. For horses, you might offer them some flavored water. Even like the water that you've used to soak the hay or alfalfa can be good. Always offer that alongside plain water buckets. They always have to have plain water buckets available. Pungent foods move energy up and out. Think about like horseradish. That's a really pungent food. This is very good for helping to eliminate the things that you need to get rid of. Parsley, mint, ginger, these are all very pungent foods, which in small amounts can be helpful. Garlic too, which I know a lot of people give, especially in the autumn when fleas and ticks can be a really bad problem. A bit of garlic every day in the fall is pungent and can also get rid of parasites. We can manage dryness indoors using humidifiers. Because otherwise we get really, really dried out. Horses who live outside, they're more exposed to the elements, but they also are in many ways more in tune with the natural rhythms. Still, pay attention to your horses, and especially their breathing and their skin. This time of year, you might need to make some adjustments to help them make it through. You might use some rinses if they have dry, itchy skin. Then maybe an apple cider vinegar rinse or a wipe down with a damp cloth can get some of the allergens off and really soothe, dry, inflamed skin. And that would work for pets or for horses. Movement is really important. Metal really likes rhythm and structure. So autumn is a great time to establish or reestablish your daily walks with your horse. Maybe why not take your horse for a walk? Why do we always have to ride them? Take your horse for a walk, take them out of the paddock, and let's explore. It's good for you as well to get some daily movement rhythms and routines. Autumn is tied to grief and letting go. I just did a post and a video on this very recently. So, don't be surprised. Oliver's never upset about anything, but don't be surprised if your animals are a little clingier now that it's autumn, and you might feel a little tender as summer slips away. So just be aware of this. Honor these emotions. Don't try to block them. Honor them so they can move through you and you can stay in tune with the season. That's seasonal care is all about balance and just making slight tweaks and adjustments so that you can stay in rhythm with nature and hopefully avoid problems entirely. I hope that this was helpful to you, and stick around and I'll teach you more about seasonal balance as the seasons progress.